Hey guys, welcome back to another redstone video. Today I'm going to show you a state-of-the-art 1.17 Mars crafting system. So let's start with some numbers first. This crafting system is able to process 3.456 million items per hour. So in case you're crafting something that requires 9 items like a piston, you would be able to craft 384,000 pistons per hour. Alright, so let's check it out. You can stand in front of a crafting table and turn on the system. Actually gonna turn it off immediately again, so we only get the contents of one shulker box each. Just gonna clear my inventory real quick and yeah, getting ready to craft. So I will get batches of 9 stacks of items each time. In case you got a crafting mod like Itemscroller, able to conveniently process those. Yeah, there we go. Every time. See, for batch would be 1 stack of pistons. And there we go. We got 27 stacks of pistons now. What I didn't add here to the system, because it's kind of up to everyone's choice, is a way to store the items again that you craft. So you could either use the shulker box loader of your choice, or you actually have a second player that puts the items as the incoming into shulker boxes. So there's multiple ways you can deal with those items, but it's kind of up to you. I was mostly working on the crafting system here itself. Alright, so let's check it out how it works. So let's turn it on. We're using a lot of new tech. First of all is the shulker box burning. So we dispense shulker boxes. They would glide through the fire here and start burning. And after a while, as you saw, the items would pop out of the shulker box. And then we kind of have an issue. Because if you get the contents of a full shulker box, so 27 stacks, we would be overwhelmed by this. So if you would send all of this immediately to the player, then the whole inventory would fill up entirely with cobble and we couldn't craft anything. So we need to split up the stacks of items somehow. Let's follow a shulker box from start to finish. So here we'll put input. We need to put in your shulker boxes. The dropper, he gets activated, item is shot out, gets aligned against the block in the back, goes through the fire, glides down the honey blocks, then the shulker box burns up, all the items are ejected, then the items would land here on top of the trapdoor, and then they fall down in front of the sticky piston. So the trapdoor here is timed in a way that the items would fall down while the slime block is retracted. And here, the actual splitting up of the stacks of items happens. This is something that Methodzz discovered last week. We'll also link his video in the video description. So the whole trick is we push the multiple stacks of items forward. They're all basically at the same position, and they would activate the golden pressure plate here on the side. You could also use an iron one, which causes the trapdoor to close here. And only a single stack or only a single entity makes it through the trapdoor. Everything else is stopped by the trapdoor. So as you can see here in front, only a single stack of iron ingots is put into the water stream here. Everything else is getting pushed back by the flowing water here. Pushed in front of the piston again. So we activate, actually I have to pick up some items here because they're starting to lag the game. I guess I could also put down some fire for now. But let's check it out again. So we activate this every 12 ticks, which is pretty much as fast as it gets. So the cooldown of the golden or iron pressure plate is already 10 ticks. So you couldn't make it faster than that. It's a hard limit. I already tried an 11 tick cycle, but then I had issues with item getting a bit of a random momentum because they just happened to collide with the collision box of the trapdoor and get shot out with a little bit of random momentum. Also, working with a 12 tick cycle is a bit easier, and it's already pretty much as fast as it gets already. So it could maybe make it a tick faster, but I think it's fine this way. We're getting enough items per hour. Okay, then one more thing, the slime block pushers here in the back have a bit of an offset. So we push in the items on the very left first. In this case, it would be the planks, and the iron ingots here on the right last. So it's timed in a way that they neatly stack up in batches of items. So if I stand here, you can see we always get a nice batch of 9 stacks of items, which is right for the piston crafting recipe. We also finally had the chance to use a nice trick that was discovered by Too Know To Name a couple months ago. We needed a single flowing water block here. So you can see here we got a flowing block of water, pushes the items back, but we didn't want another water block here because we had some issues with items floating up in water, and then they had the wrong height and sometimes got stuck on the trapdoor here. So we really didn't want another water block here. So what you can actually do to achieve this, you can also show it here on the side, is you can use the first trick to have a water locked block here below. And then you can put certain blocks on top that won't stop the water from flowing. If I would, for example, put down a sign here, as you can see, this water source would be still again. If I put another item, like another example is scaffolding block here, the water keeps flowing. So that's exactly what we want here. Just in this case, the scaffolding wasn't the perfect choice because we had items dropping in from on top, but it's another use for the sea pickle. So you can also use a sea pickle for that. There are a couple other blocks that have this behavior as well. For example, rails. We also have flowing water here, but this wouldn't work because the rail would stick to the slime in this specific case. Other options beside the sea pickle would be glow lichen. This would work. Candles would also be an option, or even drip leaf. Okay, funny thing just happened. The moment I said the word drip leaf, I actually had an idea how to improve the system. So we can actually use this to our advantage here to get rid of a bit of wiring. Instead of using this trapdoor here that opens and drops down the items at the right moment, we can also use a drip leaf. And by using a couple more with exotic materials, like a geode cluster and a cobweb, you can actually shrink down the size of the whole thing quite a lot. That happens sometimes that I just get an idea while designing the farm or even recording. That would make it a lot more compact or even better. And yeah, I'll definitely try to wire this up the same way, and then we'll get an even better version than this one. And here we have the final design. So it's definitely significantly more compact than the previous design, but I'll keep that one in the world download as well, because here we're using some materials that might not be skyblock friendly, in case that's important to you. For example, the Amethyst cluster or the cobweb here, that's something you might not be able to get in certain game modes. Okay, so let's also check it out. We can turn it on here. I'll turn it off immediately, so we only get single stack. Shulker boxes are burning right now. Items about to drop down. There we go. On a drip leaf. And now we start the slime block pushing. Okay, set this up to craft service this time. Let's quickly do that. Should get 27 stacks. Unless I came too late and yeah, probably some items were lost. Because I was in creative mode still. Okay, yeah, so tested this already quite a bit in case you're not in creative mode in survival and get there in time. It's definitely working. Alright, so in terms of lag, this contraption shouldn't be something to be worried about. My system adds about 5 to 6 MSPT, so this definitely, yeah, not gonna lag your world usually. And what I haven't really talked about is the fact that we're burning shulker boxes here. In case you're still used to pre 1.17 times, burning a shulker box that will be just lost might seem like a really bad idea, but since we have shulker shell farms that you can make almost arbitrarily fast with enough effort, it's probably a good choice to actually burn the boxes, because, well, you would also need to bring the empty shulker boxes back to your farm, and since you only have limited inventory space, this could get quite tedious. It might be best to just craft your shulker boxes on site, just bring some shulker shells and chests, so you can craft a much larger amount on site than trying to return the shulker boxes somehow. So I definitely won't be sad about the shulker boxes we lose here. It's probably more effort to actually save them somehow, use a lot of droppers to unload, hoppers and droppers to unload all of the items, so it's definitely preferable to use such a system, at least in my opinion. Alright, so in case you want to check out the system or even use it, there's a link in the video description to a world download. Thanks guys for watching and see you next time. Bye bye.